3 months, 140 hours in the encounter, 3,000 wipes. That is how long it took for me to get a clear of this one encounter of this one raid solo. This video is more than anything a justification of the time that I spent getting this clear, but I hope that it could also be useful for others looking for a super detailed guide for how to run this encounter. Most of this information I did not discover on my own. There is a very useful video guide I found by Cookie that was good for getting me started. Also in the Lowman Discord server, there is a good guide by Melito. Also, most of Melito's videos of his clears I watched to get an idea for optimal methods of running this encounter, which I'll link in the description. And this is a video sort of summarizing all the information I learned to get this clear. I will begin this guide by giving a high-level description of how to do this encounter from a solo perspective. I'm going to assume that you generally know how this encounter works, and so I'll focus on how you do it from a solo perspective. The first principle to talk about is the timers in this encounter. In the first two encounters of this raid, there are timers that are a buff on the top of the screen that you can see, and this is the first encounter where there are timers that you cannot see, but in my opinion they are tighter timers than any other encounter. The first timer is the big wipe timer, which is around 3 minutes. So from the beginning of the encounter or the time right after DPS until you need to have everything done, you have around 3 minutes. If you don't do that, it is a wipe. The second timer is the planetary shift timer. So when you pick up a planet, and as soon as you pick up a planet, the timer starts, and you have 30 seconds to do as much planet swapping as you need for that section of the running. So to begin this encounter, there are scions up next to the boss and some phalanxes. You clear the ads to spawn the centurions. You'll start with the left centurion. You will kill the leftmost centurion, which will spawn the 2 left side colossus. You will jump up to the top left colossus, kill him, which will give you planetary insight, which will show you the planets that you need to swap for the leftmost planets. You will then jump down to the rightmost centurion, kill him to spawn the 2 right colossus. And you still have planetary insight on the left side. So to get rid of that, you will go to planet number 4 on the top right platform. You will pick it up and dunk it, which will get rid of your planetary insight on the left side. Then you kill the top right colossus to give you planetary insight on the right side. Once you know all the planets, you will jump down to the bottom right plate, pick up the correct planet, swap it to the bottom left. You'll pick up the bottom left planet and swap it to the bottom right, and then you'll shoot the node in middle to stop the planetary shift timer and get you a little bit extra time. The next step is to focus on clearing the ads in mid. The next set of centurions will not spawn until enough enemies are dead, so you clear ads as fast as you can. During the second section of running, you kill the left and the right centurions as fast as you can, and then you jump up to the top right platform, kill that colossus, pick up the top right planet, swap it to the top left side, pick up the top left planet, swap it to the top right side, and then shoot the node in middle to end the planetary shift timer. Then as before, you will clear ads to spawn the final set of centurions in mid. You will kill the leftmost centurion, jump up to the top left plate, kill the top left colossus, and then you can read the plates in mid, or the planets in mid. You'll jump down and kill the bottom left colossus, and then make your way to the top right centurion as you clear ads. Kill the top right centurion, jump up, kill the top right colossus, and then begin swapping planets, middle planets. When I was learning this encounter, the most important aspect of this for me was learning that it is essentially an ad clear simulator. You need to learn the mechanics and how to do the mechanics quickly in order to give you time to do ad clear while you're doing the mechanics and after you do the mechanics. If you're not doing ad clear well enough, you're not going to be able to do this encounter. Next, we're going to briefly talk about loadouts for this encounter. I used 3 loadouts, well, 4 loadouts when doing this encounter: a running loadout, an ammo pickup loadout, a DPS loadout, and then I had a fourth loadout for final stand. For the running loadout, I used a traditional Consecration Titan build. Of note in the subclass was I used the Thruster class ability, which combined with the Powerful Attraction mod on your class item would give you healing, especially when you're in mid killing ads if you need help. Also, I used the Shackle Grenade for immobilizing the Colossus when you either couldn't kill them or don't need to kill them yet. For the weapons, I used a 1-2 punch shotgun in the kinetic slot. Rapid fire was the best frame I found for me. This is primarily used for killing the Colossus or the Centurions. In the energy slot, I used Trinity Ghoul as ad clear. It's very good at ad clear in this encounter. I know you can also use Sunshot if you can consistently proc Radiant, because that allows Sunshot to shoot through the Phalanx's shields. And then finally you have an Eager Edge Sword. For the exotic class item for this build, I used a Spirit of the Syntheseps and Spirit of Assassin. The Spirit of Assassin is optional, but highly recommended for this, as it lets you get invis when you need it. The ammo loadout is the same as the running loadout, with the exception of a scout rifle with shoot to loot, and then some other weapon. I chose Tanisha's Mastery for dealing with any leftover phalanxes, and then you have scavenger mods for picking up heavy. Then finally I have a DPS loadout. I use Queenbreaker. DPS will definitely be different in the Edge of Fate. For raid mods, you do not need raid mods for the running loadout or the ammo loadout. It's only for the DPS loadout. I use one Release Recover mod, which will give you healing when you're losing the light and the darkness buffs, which is your only source of healing during DPS. Then the other three mods are either Focus Darkness or Focus Light for weapon damage or ability damage. I used the Focus Light mods for my normal DPS loadout, as most of my damage was coming from my weapons. And then I had a fourth loadout where I swapped to Darkness, Focus Darkness, as during Final Stand there are no light buffs, it is all darkness buffs. Also, your DPS loadout will need to swap the melee from Frenzied Blade to Shield Throw, as when you go Prismatic you gain your melee charge, and then you use your Shield Throw to gain Radiant during DPS. The final section before we get into the walkthrough is an Eager Edge refresher. For me personally, this was the first time I actually learned the details of how to use an Eager Edge sword correctly. The primary thing I learned is the most optimal way to use an Eager Edge sword to gain the most momentum and go the furthest. You do a jump with no boost, Eager Edge while you're in the air, swap away from your sword, and then you can flutter your boost to maintain height while carrying forward. If you hop when you touch the ground, you'll preserve as much momentum as possible as well. And then you can modify this to customize however much momentum you need. So if you do some boost before you do Eager Edge, you will lose some momentum, and sometimes that might be what you want. If you stay on your sword and don't swap away from a weapon, you'll also lose some momentum, and that also might be what you want. This clip is a comparison of doing jump, Eager Edge, boost on the left, to jump and then boost and Eager Edge on the right, on an example jump for a lower planet swap. You can see that the optimal method clears the gap and lands on the far plate, while the unoptimized method is not. The optimal method isn't significantly more momentum than the non-optimized method, but it does make a difference. So for the meat of this video, I'm going to do a detailed walkthrough of one run of the mechanics leading up to DPS, as well as talking about the variations that might happen depending on which planets you're picking up to swap. When you load into the encounter and you place your flag, you will head up to start killing the scions. The encounter will not begin and the scions will not move until you pretty much step on one of these plates, or a line crossing through the front of one of these plates. The scions are irritating because they will want to spread out as fast as possible. One method I've learned to keep the scions from spreading is if you are close to them, they're less likely to run and spread. So you want to be shooting them and running towards them at the same time. So usually I run up to this first plate and slide and do my first shot, which means they don't scatter instantly. So you kill that first scion on the right, clear the other two with your Trinity Ghoul shot, and then clear the left side with Trinity Ghoul. Ideally, within 3 shots, all the scions are dead, or enough of them are dead, and the Centurions are spawning. There are 2 major threats at this point, the phalanxes and the boss. The phalanx, you have to keep your eye on the phalanx. You don't need to kill the phalanx, but if the phalanx is charging you, you need to be aware of that and ready to do something about it. Also, the boss might randomly wander towards you, and he also is a threat for knocking you off the map. If the boss gets close and tries to boop you, if you punch him at the right time, you will cancel all booping momentum, and you will not move at all. For the phalanxes, I have found that just hopping all the time means that they miss most of their shield bashes. So even if they get close, if you just keep hopping up and down in the air, most of the time they don't connect. But just try to stay away from the phalanxes. That's probably the best advice. After you kill the Centurion, you're going to jump up to the top left plate with Eager Edge. You will kill the Colossus, which will give you planetary insight, and you will read the left side. So from where you kill the Colossus, you can look down and you can see all 3 of the bottom planets. So you read the bottom planets first, and then you will look up at the planet 4 and 5. And if the correct planet is either 4 or 5, you know the top planet. And if it's neither of those planets, you can, by process of elimination, know that it's going to be the 6th planet. So you glance down, read bottom planet, look up, read top planet, and then you are ready to go with the right side. The next stage is jumping down to kill the 2nd Centurion. At this point, I locate where the Centurion is, and then I take this time to memorize the rightmost planets. So I repeat 3 times what the rightmost planets are while I am going towards the Centurion. Usually the Centurion is in a nice spot. He's either up on the platform up here, or he has stayed over on the far right side, and sometimes he might have wandered down a little bit. If he is in one of those safe places, you just jump straight to him and kill him, as shown here, and then you jump up to the plate. However, if he is in the pit, it's not safe for you to land right next to him and kill him. I have found 2 good options for dealing with him if he's in the pit. If you have just started the encounter and you have all your melee charges, you can jump over the pit, consecrate back behind you, and clear everything in the pit. When you're doing this, if you stay low to the ground, you have a better chance of avoiding the slowing missiles from the bottom left Colossus. If the Colossus has slowed you, you cannot use your consecration, and it just makes it more dangerous. If you are coming in out of DPS and you do not have any consecration charges, you can use your shackle grenade. So as before, you jump over the pit, shackle it so the phalanxes can't get you, and then kill the Centurion and get out of there. The shackle grenade is primarily used for the top right Centurion, so you can safely clear the planetary insight buff on the left without having to kill the Colossus first. If you have to use the shackle grenade in mid, then you do not have the grenade for the Colossus, and the best way to do it is with Trinity Ghoul. So as you are picking it up, you can stagger him with Trinity Ghoul, which gives you just enough time to pick up and place the planet before he starts trying to kill you. So I'm going to go over each combination of lower planets and my routing to minimize eager edge chases and safety with the Colossus. So this first example is going to be 1-1 swap, which is the most simple. You go down to planet 1, you go over to planet 1, you kill the leftmost Colossus, and then you go back and place it and hit the node. I did not kill the right Colossus. If the Colossus is on the path for you to pick up the planet, it's usually worthwhile to kill him. If he is out of your way, it's very easy to lose time trying to kill him if he is slightly out of position. So in this case, he was a little bit too far left. It was not worth the time, so I did not kill him. Again, you can stagger him with Trinity Ghoul, but you do not have to kill the rightmost Colossus. The leftmost Colossus, most of the time you do kill. So for a 1-2 swap, it's the same thing. This time he is in my way, so I kill him. I again kill the leftmost Colossus. These Scions, especially on the bottom leftmost plate, love booping you in the air, so they are the biggest threat because they will slow down you picking up and placing the planet. So kill them first, and then if you have time, start clearing ads in mid as well. Also, while you're jumping over, you can be clearing ads as well. For a 1-3 swap, it's the same thing. It's the exact same pathing, except you will then go up to the 3 planet and pick it up. Very similar to the 1-2 swap. The only difference is when you are jumping back, you need to be very careful that you do not eager edge to ads on your left. So you jump and boost far to the right before you eager edge, so you're out of range of tracking to them. Next we have the bottom planet swap, starting with planet number 2 on the right side. In my opinion, my least favorite. So you pick up planet number 2. This wall on your right is your best friend, as it will stop your eager edge tracking to any ads on your right. So you jump out into the void, jump right next to it, and then as soon as that wall has obstructed your vision of the enemies, you eager edge towards the next plate. So for 2-1, you kill the Colossus, clear ads while you're placing. And when it's planet number 2, I almost never deal with the Colossus on the right side. For a 2-2 swap, it's the exact same start. Use the wall to eager edge. You kill this Colossus. And then pick up number 2. And cross back, clearing ads. Except not this time. For a 2-3 swap, it's the exact same start. Very similar to a 1-3 swap. You jump up to the right boost, and then you eager edge once you're far enough away from the ads. There's a good old eager edge chase. The final ones are for the right side planet number 3, starting. So you clear the Scions next to you for jumping away from the number 3 right side planet. In this case, your friend is this wall on the left here. There are ads on your right. There almost always are going to be ads on your right, and the Colossus sometimes wanders up and is on your left. So if you just jump straight into the mid, you're probably going to eager edge chase to your right. If you eager edge too early, you're probably going to eager edge to the Colossus on your left. So you jump out forward so you can be away from the ads on your right, and use that wall to block you from the Colossus on your left before you eager edge towards the next plate. As before, kill the Colossus, kill the ads, hope you weren't booped. And then this jump back to number 3 is simpler because you don't have to worry about as much eager edge chasing, but it is also very easy to mess up this jump and either go too short or too long and fall in the void. It's just a jump that's worth practicing. For 3-2, it is the exact same start. Clear ads, use that wall to cross towards mid, kill Centurion, deal with the Scions on the plate, then the Scions in mid, cross back over. Finally, we have a 3-3 swap. For 3-3, you still do the exact same beginning pathing. You step forward using that wall and stepping away from the ads on your right, and then once you eager edge, you can angle back towards the leftmost number 3 planet. For this planet, it's never worth your time to go until kill the leftmost Colossus. So you use Trinity Ghoul to stagger him as much as possible, and just hope he doesn't burn you down with his machine gun, while also clearing ads. And the same jump you do when you're jumping back from number 3. You lean to the right, boost up in the air, and then you eager edge. This is probably the fastest planet swap if you don't chase. Now the bottom planets are swapped, and the next very, very important step is clearing ads to spawn the second round of Centurions. This is one of the most important parts of the entire encounter to get quick at. You need to focus on groups of ads, so the phalanxes have shields, so focus on killing them when they are around scions. You need to shoot quickly, but you also need to make your shots count. Losing the lightning rod buff on Trinity Ghoul isn't the end of the world, but you don't want that to happen, so always make sure your shots are killing enemies. Use your consecration sparingly. You might be booped by the boss. You might send ammo off into the void. The route should be slowly making your way from the bottom right plate all the way up to where the top left Centurion is going to spawn. While you're clearing enemies, keep doing the anti-phalanx hopping if you're near phalanxes. And the final thing is keep track of where your feet are landing, because you're wanting to build up ammo. You don't want to pick up ammo prematurely. If you have cleared ad fast enough, you should be making it to the left Centurion as he's spawning in. You kill him instantly, and then rush over to the right Centurion. If you are where you need to be, you should be able to kill both Centurions before they have time to jump into the pit. In this example, he is jumping down into the pit, but I'm able to kill him before he gets there. Once both Centurions are dead, you jump up to the top right plate, kill the Colossus. I usually do not use the mental bandwidth to remember what the top right plate is, because it's so easy to reread it. Once you kill the top right phalanx, you'll have planetary insight on the right side, and you can read what planet it is. As before, I'm going to be going over all of the different possibilities for the top planet swaps. The first scenario is a 4-4 planet swap. I normally read planet 5-6 so I can know if it's planet 4 by process of elimination. Kill the Colossus, pick up planet 4. As you're doing so, you're clearing ads. As you're jumping, you're clearing ads. Kill the leftmost Colossus. This is where the Spirit of the Assassin is useful. If you are not invis the bottom left Colossus, there's a very good chance of machine gunning you down while you're doing the planet swap. This planet swap is the primary reason I farmed out the roll I did. Pick up and drop planet 4. Just jump across, clearing ads, and then shoot the node. For a 4-5 swap, it starts the same way. Pick up 4, clear ads. As was before, the scions on the plate booping you really slows you down, so clear the plate scions first before you start clearing normal ads. 4-6 swap starts the same way, picking up the plate, clearing ads. Kill the Colossus as before. Here you should be able to do a decent amount of ad clearing while you're picking up the planets. And another eager edge chase. Five, 4 planet swap. You pick up planet 4, another eager edge chase. Clear ads. The 5-5 is the exact same. when you are jumping across, the pit is never where you want to be again. So you never want to land in it when you're crossing. Because the phalanxes and the boss, good chance of killing you. And don't jump off the plate. So for a 5-6 swap, it is much the same. Pick up the planet. Avoid jumping in the pit. Kill the Colossus. Deal with ads. And then head back down and place the planet. For a 6-4 swap, pick up planet number 6. You can clear ads in mid. I enjoy this jump the most. And then you jump back. If you are really good at eager edge, you can just jump straight to planet number 6, but I have found that it's very easy to go shorter along with that jump, and it's just safer to land where planet number 4 is and go up to planet number 6. So for a 6-5 swap, pick up planet 6. As before, kill the Colossus. And don't hesitate to use eager edge on these plates. Finally a 6-6. Again, same here. It's just safer for me to go down to planet number 4, kill the Colossus, and go up to planet number 6. You lose a little bit of time, but swapping the upper planets is a lot faster than swapping lower planets. Once the top planets are swapped, you have one more section of ad clear. This is a lot less intense ad clear as all the ads are grouped at the top and it's easier to kill them with Trinity Ghoul. You can use the top right plate for shelter, but you do have to be careful of being machine gunned down by the bottom right Colossus. Once you're mostly clear, you jump over to the left side so you can be ready for when the Centurion spawns. Once the Centurion spawn, you kill the left Centurion. Try not to pick up ammo. You then jump up and kill the top left Colossus, which will give you planetary insight on the middle planets. While you jump down to the bottom left Colossus, you can glance over and quickly read the planets in mid, or you can wait until after you've killed the bottom left Colossus. If you do not kill the bottom left Colossus, he is going to be a pain as you're dunking planets. I tried to learn how to do this without killing him, and I found that it's better just to learn to be fast enough to do it. After you've killed the bottom left Colossus, based on the music, you should know how much more time you have left. While you are heading up to the top right Centurion, this is a good time to start clearing ads. Based on how much time you have, you can either be slow about it and really clear ads, or just do it quickly as you're eager edging up. But clearing ads now is very useful for minimizing needed ad clearing setting up to DPS. Kill the right Centurion, jump up to the right Colossus, and kill him. And then we are going to swap mid planets. The general principles are listen to the music so you know how much time you have. Kill ads as you go. Kill ads as you go. Watch out for phalanxes. Watch out for the boss. They can both loop you. And don't forget to kill ads. I will go more over the music and how you can tell how much time you have left at the end. So this first example is going to be light left. So you will always start with the top right planet number 4. In this case, you pick up planet number 4 while you're clearing ads. You will place it on the right planet. Go over and kill the right Colossus. Pick up planet number 3, take it to mid, and then you will pick up planet number 1 and place it on the left. The next example is going to be light mid. They all start the same way. You pick up planet number 4 on the right side. You place it on the right side. Kill the Colossus, pick up planet number 3. When you have 2 darks, you are always going to be picking up planet number 4. Depending on where the Colossus is, that is where you'll be picking up the second dark planet. Usually the Colossus is hanging out around planet number 3, and so you would pick up planet number 3. If he's wandered down to planet number 1, then you would kill him and pick up the dark planet at planet number 1. So after we placed on the left side, we once again go to the light side, planet number 1. We're going to pick that up and place it on mid. Final light side example is going to be light right. We pick up planet 4, we place it in mid. Then we pick up the light side planet, place it on the right side. This is a good example of another way to stop the boss from booping you. You can use your sword to completely negate all of his momentum. So while I'm placing the planet, he is right there, he boops me, but because I am shielding, I don't get moved at all. Then I kill the Colossus, pick up planet number 3, and put it over on the left side. Now for dark side left. We pick up dark planet 1, place it on the left, and we jump up to light side 4, place it in mid, then we pick up light side left and go and dunk it. Another option is if you have lots of time, you can jump down and kill the second right side Colossus. In this case I was rushing, so I just went for the dunks. But if you do not kill him before you place planets, you'll have to deal with him immediately afterwards. The next example is going to be dark mid. Pick up dark number 4, place it mid. Then we pick up light side number 1, place it on the left, pick up light side number 4, that's a good example of how dangerous he can be if you don't deal with the Colossus. If I hadn't had my Shackle Grenade, I would have wiped here. The final example is dark side on the right. Pick up planet number 4, place it on the right side. Here's an example of me killing the Colossus before I go over to the light planets. Pick up planet number 1, place it on the left side, and then we're going to pick up planet number 4 and place it in the middle. Once all the planets are placed, the final 2 steps before DPS begins. The first and almost more important is the ad clear if you're going with a weapon-based DPS. I found it best to focus on the scions of the front 2 plates as they are closest. Then you focus on the phalanxes and scions in middle, and then the scions on the top plates. The scions do a lot of damage, so they need to die. The phalanxes are less important and do not do as much damage. Ideally though, all of them need to be dead. The more ads dead, the better. Once most of the ads are dead, or you're running out of time, you swap to your ammo loadout, pick up your ammo, swap to your DPS loadout, and start DPS. When you are placing the final mid planet, if you are running late on time and dunking the last planet as he is starting the wipe, as the wipe timer runs out, the sound at the encounter might go mostly mute, and you will just hear the music and it will sound like a wipe is happening. This does not always mean a wipe is happening. If you were able to place it before the wipe happened, you can continue playing and the sound is going to be weird for the encounter. So if the sound is weird, keep killing ads, keep acting as if it's not a wipe until you see the actual wipe animation. For DPS method, I'm not going to go too much into the strategy, as the DPS method is going to be very different in Edge of Fate than it was when I did it. But I have some general tips. The first is to pay attention to your buff, your light buff or your darkness buff. You need to make sure that it doesn't expire while you still need it, but you also need to strategically let it expire to allow you to get health from the release recover. Once all 3 plates light up, you'll have 40 seconds to do damage before the damage window ends. Each plate has a certain amount of damage you can do until he shuts off the plate, as shown by a line on the health bar. If you cross the line, then you have a few more seconds to do damage before the plate ends and you move on to the next plate. When I was running it, I would push him on the first plate to just before the line, and then I would use my burst super to go across the line and maximize my damage output before moving on to the next. The one gimmick with regard to the plates and the damage thresholds on its plate is if you are finishing the second plate, pushing the second plate towards its threshold, and you cross the threshold right as the 40-second damage window ends, and he does not send out a tornado to take the plate, then he will spawn a tornado at the beginning of the next damage phase and steal your first plate, and you will only get 2 plates of damage during the next DPS phase. This is a rather rare occurrence. It did not happen much for me, but can be very annoying when it happens. So to make it less likely is if you are on the second plate and you know that you're running low on time during DPS, you just don't push it towards the damage support time and just give up the third. After DPS, swap back to your running loadout, pick up some out of the way heavy brick so you can use Eager Edge. You only need around 25 Eager Edge ammo to do a whole running session, so you should only need 1 brick. Then you kill any other enemies if there's any left on the top plates, especially it'll allow you to proc Lightning Rod. And then I either set up on the top left plate or right next to where the left Centurion will spawn to set up for the second phase. And then you just need to do this 2 more times. When I was learning this encounter, I oftentimes would get frustrated, as when I was dunking the middle planets, I had no idea how much time I had left, and so I would spend no time clearing ads and just hurriedly place the middle planets, which would leave me a whole bunch of ads to clear before DPS, which would lead to bad DPS cycles. And then I learned about the music in this encounter. The music is absolutely key for letting you know how much time you have left, so you can clear ads while you are moving the middle planets, instead of clearing all of them after the middle planets. On the first running phase, distinct drums will start in the music 45 seconds before the wipe timer expires. You should be killing the final left Centurion before going up to kill the left Colossus. It would be even better if you have killed both left side Colossus and you are already moving towards the final right Centurion. When those drums occur, you have 45 seconds left, so you have around 15 seconds to finish clearing ads. And then you can kill the top right Centurion to start the planetary shift timer for the mid planets. On the second phase, the drum will start around 50 seconds before you've wiped. Essentially, this is the same as the first phase. Make sure you're killing the final left Centurion, but be aiming for having killed both left side Colossus at this point. On the third phase, the music crescendos and the drums start around 80 to 90 seconds before you're wiped. You should be at least picking up the top right planet for the top planet swap, but ideally you're finishing up swapping top right planets when you hear these drums. For all phases, the music will get really quiet for the final 5 seconds before you wipe. And when you hear the music get really quiet, you need to be dunking the final planet. If you can pay attention to the music and at least get the first drum beat to let you know how much time you have, it will be significantly easier to kill ads while you are swapping planets to set up for much, much cleaner DPS. Alright, I know this video is long enough, but here are my final notes about this encounter. When I first was trying to learn this encounter, I tried to learn the whole thing as one big encounter. I ran it as far as I would go, I would wipe, I'd restart, I'd run the whole thing again, I'd wipe. That was very frustrating and I made little progress until I learned to take it in small bites. For example, here is how I started. I first practiced by clearing the first Scions, killing the first Centurion, killing the first Colossus, and reading the left planets. And then I would wipe. And I would continue doing this until I was comfortable and fast at doing that first step. Next, I would do all that, and then I would kill the other Centurion, pick up and dunk top planet number 4 right side, and kill the right side Colossus. And then I would wipe. Once I was good at that, I would add on swapping the bottom planets. And it just kept on adding bits until I was comfortable with the whole thing. For me, I struggled most in learning to consistently swap the bottom planets without being slowed down too much killing a Colossus or eager edge chasing into something. So I primarily focused on swapping the bottom planets until I was comfortable. Once I was comfortable with that, it made my practice on the later parts of the encounter significantly more consistent. Second, this is an encounter about focus. Usually when I'm doing solo things in Destiny, I can watch a YouTube video or be in a Discord call. But this was an encounter that took all of my mental energy. I could not have any YouTube, I could not be in a call with anybody. I needed to completely focus on this encounter. I would repeat planet calls out loud in my room multiple times to myself. I would tell myself what I was going to do next. You have to be completely focused on this. Or at least I had to be completely focused on this to get this clear. To end, the heart of this encounter is efficient ad clear with Trinity Ghoul. The ad clear is the lock behind each new step of the encounter. If you're not clearing ads, you're not spawning Centurions, and without Centurions, nothing can happen. Also, you need to clear ads for DPS in order to consistently have clean DPS. So learning the mechanics is important. Being quick with your edge is important. But if you're not consistently clearing ads, then you're not going to be able to learn this encounter. And that is about it for this guide, or this justification, however you want to see it. I hope you appreciate it. Thanks.